Korean 2, lesson 16 lecture. 생일 축하해요. Happy birthday. First grammar. Person, 한테께 means to a person. Person plus 한테서 means from a person. When giving or receiving things or informal information among people, we use 한테, 한테서. We have different particles, markers for to, from a place. Use 게 when the recipient is a senior or superior. 도 does not replace 한테, 게, 한테서, 에, or 에서. It does, however, completely replace the topic marker, 은는, subject marker, 이가, or object marker, 을들. For the previous series of markers that I had mentioned, 한테, 게, 한테서, 에, 에서, you just add it to the particle at the end. So it becomes 한테도, 깨도, 한테서도, 에도, 에서도. Here's a chart to indicate, specify when you use 한테, 한테서 versus 에, 에서. When you are exchanging something, either physical, material, or information between people, then you use 한테께 or 한테서. 에게 is also used for to, but it's very formal, like when you are making a dedication, okay? Or you're making a tribute. For place, destination to a place is 에, from a place is 에서, when the verb is locomotion verb. If you remember, the locomotion verbs are verbs that takes up distance. You have a starting place and a destination when you perform these verbs. This is a mistake even sometimes native Koreans make. They say 친구를 전화해요. No, that's wrong. You are calling a person. So you say 친구한테 전화를 해요. 전화를, phone call is what you're making, but you're making a phone call to a person. So 친구한테, not 친구를 전화해요. 제임스는 폴한테 꽃을 줘요. So Paul is the recipient. James is doing the action. So he's the topic or the subject. 제임스는 폴한테 꽃을 줘요. James is giving the flower to Paul. 선생님께 숙제를 드렸어요. 선생님 is a superior, especially to a student or a dog. So to a teacher, anyone's title whose job title ends with 님, you should use 게, not 한테. And also, instead of 주다, you use 드리다 to give something to an older person or a superior. This is not honorific, it's humbleific, because you are the one who's performing the action, but you're giving something to an older person. Okay, so it's 드렸어요, humbleific, not honorific. Honorific is the actual actions of the elder or the superior. 선배에게 책을 바쳤어요. So you use 에게, you are making a book dedication like this. You are dedicating a book, a song, okay? It sounds a little bit more poetic and formal. And it could be physical things that you are giving to that person, not just tribute, but 에게 is just more formal. 누구에게 선물을 줬어요. let's review, is to a location. That's the final destination. 샌디는 중국에 여행 가요. 언니를 만나러 뉴욕에 왔어요. And of course, 에 can also be used with time element. 마크는 6월에 졸업했어요. Also, 에 is used with verbs of existence. or static adjective like 많다, 있다, 없다. Like a lot of particles, the particle is what determines the role of the noun in the sentence, not the order of the noun in the sentence for Korean. So you have a sentence, 제임스한테서 제이는 꽃을 받아요. Okay, so from James, Jane is receiving the flower. It's somebody is receiving, so Jane is the subject topic. James is the source, but Jane receives. So she is the subject topic. Jane은 제임스한테서 꽃을 받아요. Okay. Still, Jane is the subject topic because not because she's in the front of the sentence, but it's a particle that makes for the topic, subject, object, location of a sentence. Okay, and the verb always goes at the end. Just interesting pronunciation note about the word 꽃. This can be pronounced two ways. Either 꽃을, the ch sound at the end, the 받침, it gets carried over liaison role. But 꽃을 is pretty, it takes up a lot of energy to say that. So you can just say 꽃을, can be soft S. Okay. Now, from a person, when the person is a source of information or the action, 친구한테서 전화가 왔어요. From a friend, a call came. 선생님한테서 뉴스를 들었어요. From the teacher, you heard the news. 에서 is where the action is taking place, and when is also used with locomotion verb, it means from a place. 기숙사에서 도서관이 가까워요. So the dormitory, from the dormitory, the library is close. You're talking about the library, actually, that it's from the dormitory that it's close. 언니를 뉴욕에서 만났어요. So you met the older sister in New York. 샌디가 홍콩에서 와요. She's coming from Hong Kong. Okay, when it's used with a dynamic verb, it means that's where the location of the action is taking place or process. Or when it's used with locomotion verb, 에서 indicates the starting point. Again, a chart indicating when it's with a person, you use 한테, 게 to a person, 게 for honorific, those who are older or superior. 에게 is more formal context. 한테서 is from a person. When you're going to a location, place, 에. When you are starting from a place, 에서. 학생이 선생님께 책을 드려요. So student who's giving to a teacher, so 선생님께 honorific, and 드려요, not 줘요, because again, you need to humble yourself when you're giving something to an older person. So you express that with 드려요, not 줘요. If the older person is giving something, you say 주셔요, 주세요, or 주셨어요. 주세요 or 주셨어요. So the older person is giving somebody else equal or younger something. 선물 주었어요 or 줬어요. This can be contracted or it can be as is 주었어요. 밀하우스가 리사한테 or 에게 선물 주었어요 or 줬어요. 영미는 마크한테서 꽃을 받았어요. So 영미 from Mark received the present. She received the present and the source is Mark. There we go. 선생님이 저한테 or 저에게 시험을 주셨어요. The teacher gave me the test. Okay? 주셨어요 because the action is actually performed by the teacher. 드리다 is you giving somebody or somebody who's lower giving something to a higher person, superior person. 스티브는 샌디한테서 카드를 받았어요. Steve received from Sandy a card. 바트는 여동생한테에게 시계를 줘요. Bart to his younger sibling, younger sister, gives a watch or clock. In Korean, 시계 can be either watch or clock. 손목시계 is literally wrist clock, means watch. 스티브가 마이클. So you can determine which particle it would be by looking at the verb at the end. 주다, you give to. You always give to a person. So 스티브가 마이클 한테, not 게, because Steve and Michael, they're probably mutual status. 가요, you go to a place usually, right? 내년 판다를 보러 샌디에고에 가요. Next year, in order to look at the pandas, you're going to San Diego. 오늘 메리 생일이에요. 그래서 메리 전화했어요. It's Mary's birthday, so you call her, you make a call to her. 메리한테 전화했어요. Okay? 에게 can be fine too. 에게 전화하다. But 에게 is not used often. It's now reserved for, dedications and tributes. 메리는 남자친구. You talk to a person. 한테 얘기해요. Although not among the choices, you could say 하고 얘기해요. With that person, but 한테, Mary is talking to the boyfriend. 신문 is not a person. It's so important to know that 한테께, 에게 and 한테서 is only for people. Okay, so 신문에서 뉴스를 봤어요, because 신문 is not a person. So from the news, you've seen the news. 부모님 들었어요. You listen, you hear. From people's 부모님한테서 뉴스를 들었어요. 선생님 드렸어요. You give something to the teacher. So 선생님께 책을 드렸어요. 여동생 전화가 와요. 전화가 와요 means the call is coming in. 전화해요 means you make the call. You are making the call. So 여동생한테서 전화가 자주 와요. Call comes often from your younger sister. Texas is not a person unless it could be a proper noun, but it's a place here. So 텍사스에서 편지 가끔 와요. You get a letter time to time from Texas. Okay, this is, assuming this is from the state, not a person. 남자친구, boyfriend. So 남자친구, you receive something, you got something from the boyfriend. When it's 받았다, it's always from, we receive from. 주다 is give to. So 남자친구한테서 시계를 받았어요. Second grammar, 지만. It's a connective clause of 그렇지만, but however, very easy to use this, just verb or adjective based stem. You take out the 다 from the dictionary form and add 지만. For 이다, if the noun ends in consonant, you put 이지만, otherwise, excuse me, just 지만. You do, yes, this connective does take tense. So you can say 갔지만. Okay. 친구 집에 갔지만 친구가 없었어요. You had gone to your friends, but your friend wasn't there. Okay. 돈이 없지만, you don't have money, but 생일 선물을 만들 거예요. 그렇지만, but, however, that's the meaning. 기타를 잘 못 치지만 기타를 좋아해요. You are not good at playing the guitar. You can't play it very well, but you do like playing the guitar. You like the guitar. 숙제했지만 you had done your homework. 걔가 먹었어요. But then the dog ate your homework. LA 날씨는 좋지만 비가 안 와요. So how's the LA weather, you guys? It's nice, but it doesn't rain. 꽃이 예쁘지만 너무 비싸요. How's the flower? It's pretty, but however, it's too expensive. Have you been to a party like this? 이런 파티에 가봤어요. 파티에 사람이 많이 있었지만, so you are literally saying there were a lot or lot were there. In existence, there were many. 재미없었어요. There were a lot of people at the party, but then it wasn't fun. 한국은 복잡하지만 재미있어요. Korea is very crowded. 복잡하다 also tells you that it's very complex. But like it's bustling, but it's interesting. It's fun. 휴일인데 왜 안 놀아요? Okay. This is also very good for explaining 왜 questions. They're the most complicated to explain why, right? It's the holiday, but why aren't you out playing? 휴일이지만, it's a holiday, 일이 많아요, but there's a lot of work. If it's a noun, if it ends in a consonant, 이지만, otherwise, 지만. 비 오는데 왜 나가요? It's raining, but then why are you out? 비 오지만 약속이 있어요. But I have engagement. I made a promise to somebody, or I have an appointment. 배고픈데 왜 밥 안 먹어요? 배고픈데 왜 밥 안 먹어요? You're hungry, but why aren't you eating? You have to always go back to the dictionary form of the verb. I am hungry, 배고프다. And then you take out the that, and then add지만, 배고프지만, 여자친구하고 저녁 먹을래요. I'm hungry, but I'm gonna have dinner with my girlfriend. 한국어는 어려운데 왜 공부해요? Korean is hard. Why do you study it? Did you get the pun on this one? Oh my God. Sino-Korean number 5 is O. So this is, oh my God. 한국어는 어렵지만, so 어렵다, dictionary form adjective, when it's conjugated, it's 어려워요. So 어려운데 with the irregular. Remember, unde, nunde, all that is background information. Despite the fact that it's difficult, why do you study it? 한국어는 어렵지만 재미있어요. But it's fun. It's interesting. 민지는 머리가 좋아요. Okay, literally, good brains, but she's smart. 민지는 머리가 좋지만 공부 안 해요. But then she doesn't study. She's smart, but she doesn't study. 갈비는 비쌌어요. 그렇지만 맛있어요. So you can merge these two sentences into one. 갈비는 비쌌지만 맛있었어요. It was expensive. You already ate it. So it was expensive, but it was delicious. Third grammar, 보세요. We have a lot of 보다 grammar. This is, we learned in the last lesson, 봤다, to ask and express about your past experience, that you had tried something. 보세요 is to suggest that they should try something. Okay, at least once, and see how you like it. Okay, do this and see how it goes. That's what it means. Okay, we add 한 번 in the front to say, like, give it a shot. Okay, give it a chance. Okay, and if you are suggesting, you propose that let's try. Okay, then you say 한번 볼까요? To politely suggest, shall we try this? A comments, 옷이 너무 예뻐요. And B says, try it on. Okay, 한번 입어보세요. Okay, why don't you at least try it on? Okay, for once. 골라보세요. Like try picking a flavor. 제가 알아볼게요. I'll look into it. That's what it means. I'll search into it. 잘 들어보세요. Please try listening very carefully. 고쳐보세요. Try fixing it. Fitness center에 가보세요. 피트니스 센터에 가보세요. Try going to the fitness center. See how that's like. So you can make suggestions, recommendations when at this different situations. You can ask a question and say, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? 한국 음식 좋아하세요? Do you like Korean food? 비빔밥을 먹어보세요. Then try 비빔밥. K-pop 좋아하세요? And suggest a band. Stray Kids 늘 들어보세요. Okay? 여행 좋아해요? Do you like traveling? 에 가보세요. 멕시코에 가보세요. 캐나다에 가보세요. 디즈니랜드에 가봤어요. And you can have, there's so many things to do at Disneyland, right? 뭐뭐뭐 타 보세요. Okay, try this ride. 뭐뭐뭐 먹어보세요. Try eating something. 스카이다이빙 해봤어요? Have you tried skydiving? And for that one, it could only be like 한번 해보세요. Why don't you try once? Okay. 영화 배우 만나봤어요? This is a very LA question. Have you met a movie star? So where would you go to in LA to run into a celebrity movie star? 베벌리 힐스에 가보세요. 로디오 드라이브에 가보세요. Sunset에 가보세요. Okay, and you could come up with your own original question and suggestion. Here's more. Please make suggestions for music, food, travel, and book. K-pop 좋아하세요? Band, singers, 을을 들어보세요. 멕시코 음식 좋아하세요? Do you like Mexican food? So you guys, I emphasize this. It's not Mexican 음식 or Mexican 사람. You name the country and then put the noun. So it's 멕시코 음식, not Mexican 음식. Okay? 멕시코 음식 좋아하세요? Do you like Mexican food? 을을 먹어보세요. burrito를 먹어보세요. enchilada를 먹어보세요. Make suggestions. Those are the usual. So suggest some different Mexican food. 여행 좋아해요? Do you like traveling? 에 가보세요. Name some cities, okay? Or countries. Harry Potter 좋아하세요? 을을 읽어보세요. Suggest other, fantasy, okay? Books like Harry Potter, or you could switch Harry Potter books with some other popular fiction. Very similar to what we just went over. 봐도 돼요. Okay. So now you're asking, is it okay if I try this? Okay. Is it okay if I try this? 보다, right? 봐도, even if I try this, is it okay? 되다. Is it a pass? Is it fine if I do this or that? 한번 입어봐도 돼요? Is it okay if I try this on? At once. Same thing, 아어요. You take out the yo from the 아어요, the plain, casual, non-past form, and then 봐도 돼요. 한번 타봐도 돼요. Is it okay if I get on this once? Okay, if I try it once. 뭐 좀 물어봐도 돼요? Is it okay if I ask you something? always putting 좀 in front of a request makes you sound very native-like. Okay. Here it's missing, but you could say 이거 좀 마셔봐도 돼요? Is it okay if I try this, drink this? 네, 드세요. Yes, please. Please drink. How do you say, can I use this? If I try using this? 써봐도 돼요? Is it okay if I try on these shoes? 신발 좀 신어봐도 돼요? Okay. And then Pandora's asking, is it okay if I open this? 열어봐도 돼요? 잠깐 갔다 와 봐도 돼요? Is it okay I go out and I'll, come right back? Fifth grammar point. So a lot of you have guessed or have suspected this. If you listen to how dialogues go in Korean drama, we learned all your form for a while now. This is a form we used a lot, and it's non-honorific, but it's very polite. It's polite enough, and when you drop the yo, and what makes it polite is that yo. Okay, that's so important. And once you drop that yo, it becomes what's called non-honorific speech level or intimate speech level, where you use with people who are very, very close to you, such as friends you had for a very, very long time, or siblings like only few years apart, maybe a year or two at most. Your close peers, those who are younger than your kids. And you use this when you are talking with somebody who you're ultra casual with, or somebody who's younger. You cannot use this with somebody who's older, very disrespectful. And even with people who, you have to first kind of establish that. We watched a lot of cultural videos before, and you use the aoyo form minus yo once you realize you're about the same age. And it's also the context in which you met. Maybe you met somebody at a very social setting, then you might have just started using aoyo right away, but not if you would not use aoyo right away with somebody in your profession, especially if your workplace is very conservative. For ida, in this intimate form, if the noun ends with consonant, it would be 이야, okay, or 야. For 아니다, it becomes 이가 아니야. 이거 떡볶이야. This is 떡볶이. And if the teacher is talking to somebody who's a lot younger, he would say 나는 학생이 아니야. Remember, first person topic, the humble form is 저는, right? 나는 is a non-humble form. So he sounds very casual saying, I'm not a student, okay, to somebody who's very young, probably not even like student, but like a kid, you guys. And often when you're calling your friends, if the first name ends in consonant, it would be a, and if it ends in a vowel, it would be ya. Like 유진아, 마이크라, 영희야, Sandy야. It's like, hey Eugene, hey Michael, Younghee. And no, you do not do this with your teacher or your parents. Anybody older, no. You can put she, right, for somebody who's younger, or equal. Okay, this is for somebody who you are very you have no qualms with, like very casual, open. Okay, for yes, you could say yeah. It becomes it's like yeah, very casual. 아니요 becomes 아니 because you is dropped. 공부 다 했어? 다 했어요. From that speech right away, A is older, okay? Because they can ask the question without the 요, but B is still attaching the 요. 점심 먹어? 아니, 이따가. Okay. This you can tell A and B are mutual. They're very both the same age or they're very close, and they have established that they can they had that breakthrough moment where they said, oh, we're gonna drop our speech to casual, the intimate speech. So pronouns, I know we really told you, please use humble subject and topic for first person. 저는, 제가, okay? 저를. When you are with somebody who is younger or more casual with, you refer to yourself as 나는, 내가, okay? 나를, 나한테, okay? And for your possessive too, you can talk to somebody when you're talking about your stuff with somebody who is not only older, but in a formal, like when you're talking about your stuff, let's say with your colleagues at a meeting, like job meeting, refer to yourself as 제 책, 제 가방, okay? But when you're just talking with somebody who you're very casual with, you can refer to yourself as 내 가방, 내 책, okay? And 저희 is a little bit more formal than 우리. 저희 is honorific, humblerific for referring to yourselves. 팀장님, so that's the team manager. You're talking to your boss, okay, your manager. 저는 오늘 좀 바빠요. Like I'm a bit busy. But then if you're talking to your friend, 수미야, 나는 내일 미팅이 있어. 수미, hey, Sumi, I have meeting tomorrow. Notice in English, we don't have honorific. We don't have, intimate speech, but it's in the tone. Listen to me again. If I'm to talk to a manager, I have a bit of meeting today. I'm a bit busy today versus, hey, I have meeting today. Okay. It's subtle, but it's different. We do that with tone. Whereas in Korean, yes, there's a tone, but as well as the yo ending being attached to somebody who you are talking to who is older, is respecting versus without the yo. Okay. You're talking to a teacher, 선생님, 제가 청소할게요. Volunteering, I'll do the cleaning. Okay. Shania, 내가 저녁 사줄게. I'll buy you dinner. I'll buy you dinner. You is missing. Okay, but still same tone to assure the listener. 어머니, 저한테 꼭 문자 보내세요. You are asking politely, requesting that your mother sends you text. 준형아, 그 친구가 나를 몰라. Okay, 준형, that friend doesn't know me. Okay. With, if that was your friend making a request, you would be like, 수미야, 나한테 instead of 저한테 꼭 문자 보내. It could be a command or order, like send me the text instead of 문자 보내세요. 문자 보내. Okay, the difference is huge. Please send me a text versus 문자 보내. Send me text. Okay, very direct. So it's the same dialogue on both columns, but in this different speech. Let's read the one in green column. The woman starts. 마이클 씨, 생일 선물 잘 받았어요. 꽃이 너무 예뻐요. 고맙습니다. So they are mutual, but she's respecting him with she because it's a title that is attached to somebody whose name who is equal or younger. Okay. 잘 받았어요. Yo is in there. I received it well. It's very pretty. Thank you. Okay. 고맙습니다 is all the more formal for giving thanks. And the man replies, 영미 씨가 좋아해서 다행이에요. Okay, it's good that, you know, it's fortunate that you like it. 마이클 씨, 오늘 저녁 시간이 있어요? Again, she refers to him as 마이클 씨. Do you have time today at dinner? 네, he answers, 네, 왜요? Okay, 요 is still there. Okay, even if it's a very simple question, why? 제가 저녁 만들게요. And she says, I'll make dinner, referring to herself as 제가. Okay, 갈비 좋아하세요? Do you like 갈비? 그럼요, 좋지요. 요. All of their speech ends with 요, and only time is 고맙습니다, which is formal form. Okay, so you could tell even if they're dating, it's very formal. Okay, maybe they're in the beginning stage of dating. Also, you know, maybe they met at work. Very kind of there's a distance there. There's formality there. Let's check out this couple on the right. They're saying exactly the same thing, but it's the ambiance is different. 자기야, 생일 선물 잘 받았어. 꽃이 너무 예뻐. 고마워. Okay, she calls him 자기. It's like you. You don't refer to 자기 unless it's your significant other, not your spouse. You can be off the record. You don't, like when you guys are alone together, you can refer to your significant other as 자기, like you. But it's also this can be with very close friends, very close friends. Okay, like referring to you, but it's kind of it's very affectionate. Okay, it doesn't have to be romantic per se. Okay, 자기야, 생일 선물 잘 받았어. 꽃이 너무 예뻐. 고마워. All the yo's are dropped. Okay, 영미가 좋아해서 다행이야. No more yo's anymore. And then she refers to him as 자기. Okay, 오늘 저녁 시간 있어? 응, 왜? So is a very ultra casual yes. Okay, like yeah, why? Okay, no more yo's. 내가 저녁 만들게. 갈비 좋아해? 그럼 좋지. All the yo's are gone. Maybe it's the same couple. You know, maybe a few months or years later down the line. Okay, they're very close now, and they have agreed at some stage to drop the yo and be very casual with each other. Okay, another similar dialogue with the counterpart. 생일 축하해요. 저 생일 어떻게 알았어요? 샤오밍한테 들었어요. Actually, there's a typo. 이거 별거 아니지만 선물이에요. Okay, happy birthday. How did you know it was my birthday? I heard from Xiaoming. This is nothing, you know, it's nothing big, it's nothing special, but it's a present, it's a gift. 와, 고마워요. 지금 열어봐도 돼요? Thank you. Can I open this? 그럼요, 열어보세요. Okay, so this was taken from the dialogue, and it's dialogue between colleagues. Imagine if they were very close friends since childhood. 생일 축하해. 내 생일 어떻게 알았어? Well, if they were close friends, they would know each other's birthday, but 샤오밍한테 들었어. Or if they were like classmates, maybe in college, very close. 이거 별거 아니지만 선물이야. 와, 고마워. 지금 열어봐도 돼? 그럼 열어봐. 와, 핸드폰 케이스네. 마침 필요했는데. 잘 쓸게. 잘 됐네. 고르기 힘들었는데. Okay? So no more yo's. So when you're on a call with somebody, formal business call, 여보세요. See, you never, when you're calling somebody, and if it's like at a company, you always say 여보세요, because unless you know that person, you don't know who's going to pick up the call. Steve 씨, 저예요. It's me. So A is Steve. 아까 저한테 전화했어요? 하셨어요? Did you call me before? 저분 누구세요? Because whoever you're asking about is an older person. 제 선생님이세요. 이세요. Honorific. Because you're talking about an older person who happens to be a teacher. Now you're talking about a kid, a baby. 저 아이 누구? 야. 내 여동생이야. We're changing the sentences into a casual form. instead of 저예요, 나야. 나한테 instead of 저한테 전화했어? instead of 전화했어요. Obviously, all of the yo's drop, but instead of 네, you can get away with 응. Yeah, 네 is a pretty formal yes. You don't use 네 with your friends unless it's for some humorous effect. When you're referring to your kid, 네 instead of 제, okay? And yeah, when you're talking about your older brother, you need to respect him. So you're talking about him, describing him, 건강하세요, 크세요. You're talking about your younger sibling. You don't have to put the 요 in there because you're talking about your younger sibling. 착해요, 착하고 예뻐. That's it for lesson 16.